That's how personal he is.
This is. I was thanking you before in the camera, by the way, for giving me this spot. I told you a little bit on Facebook.
It's not official until it's on camera.
Right. I told you a little bit on Facebook about what had happened to me, and then I split in the late '90s because of a drug problem. Lived in Europe, and then 7 years on a small island in Thailand.
Yes. Oh, you're that guy?
I'm that guy.
I heard of you.
Where did you hear me?
I heard that story.
Where?
That you left. I don't remember.
Was it on the
Ray Ellen?
Ray. Oh, yeah, right. I was talking. Then I was just talking about how Ray Ellen stole my word problem joke and tells everybody that he bought it from me.
He told me that he had a drug problem and had to split, and then he stole your whole life story.
Ray Ellen has my life. My Ray Ellen identity thief.
That's go to Thailand for more than 3 years.
Check out the new Comedy Central special, Ray Ellen Identity Thief. It was funny. I was with this cat Stephen Pearl recently, and Stephen Pearl was part of the old Comedy Store days when I started in '88, and would go to Kennison's parties, and this cat Stephen Pearl's running around, and he did a show called Comedy's Dirtiest Dozen with Bill Hicks back in '88 or '89.
Ron Schock's here next week.
Yeah, I was just at Ron Schock's home in Las Vegas interviewing him. I did an interview, and this is what's kind of pissing me off a little bit. You know Ron Schock?
I've never met him.
You know who he is, right? All right. I did a thing. I went out to Ron Schock. I had an idea because I knew Hicks a little bit. And I'd never met Ron Schock, but because of the whole Facebook thing, and that's how I got in touch with Brewer. I did an hour on Brewer's show. Maybe that's where you heard it. I don't know if you heard of me or not about that thing.
I heard that story and I've heard of your name, but I've never seen it.
Okay. All right.
This is how conversations will be held in the future. Just to
it'll be live streaming on its wall.
Guess what? It is the future since you said that.
I know.
Your statement you just made, that was in the past.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the thing. I went out to Ron.
Mushrooms?
I saw this thing. Okay, I had never seen the Hicks interview about the gig. But for 20-some years, I've carried the name Ron Schock around with me because I knew he was one of the original Outlaws, and I'm a huge Hicks fan. And I knew the cat a little bit, not as well as I would have liked to. But man, like I said to people recently, if I'd known Bill when I was 19, would have had nothing to talk to him about. Today, we could have talked about things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I was a kid at that time when I knew him, and Ron Schock recently said when I was in Vegas, he said when Bill was born, he was 1,000 years old. You know. So anyway, basically, what happened was I had this idea. I saw.
Is this video where you film people reacting to your life story?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I'm telling you the story of what I did the other day. I was in L.A. and I had this idea. I didn't have the camera then, but I just all of a sudden had this idea. Wouldn't it be interesting to go sort of Hunter S. Thompson style in a convertible out to Vegas to shoot an outlaw? To interview Ron Schock. Yeah, so I called him, we got in touch, I went out there, I bought this camera, I bought all kinds of new stuff, I'm learning how to edit with my new little MacBook Pro. I went out there, we hooked it up, we talked.
Ray Ellen did that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, you know, Ray Ellen's, I have to check out his YouTube page. Yeah. I'm not getting the updates on Ray Ellen's radio reality show. Anyway, hi, I'm just like Dane Cook, but no one knows me. I'm Ray Ellen. So, anyway, basically I went out there, smoked a joint with Schock, talked a bit, got this camera working, bought him and his wife, it was their anniversary, bought them lunch at a dim sum place, went back to Schock's house, talked to him for a bit, then got the whole thing on footage in one take, you know, had it up on YouTube immediately after he approved it, and he and his wife really liked it. She told me that people have come up before wanting to interview him and nobody ever got anywhere, and she said at first I had trepidations about you. She didn't use that word because I don't think she knew it, but she said I had trepidations about you, you know, coming up here, but I'm really, really impressed by the work that you did, and this looks great, and blah, blah, blah. Ron Schock put it on his page, and he got tons and tons of response from people saying, this is history. I want to see more of these. This is amazing. Ron, you're such a great storyteller. Not anywhere on that Facebook page did Ron say, hey, thanks. And by the way, let me say thanks to a cat named Stu Kamens who spent all his own money and decided to come out here and do Interview with an Outlaw Part 1 and Part 2. I'm not getting any, and you know what? I don't really need the credit as much as it just shows me what kind of
thank you in advance.
People we are.
What are you going to do with this?
No. You know what, Alexandro? You're not famous enough for me to do anything with this, unfortunately.
How much do I owe you?
You know, I saw something on Facebook where you got off stage somewhere and somebody complained that they didn't like the angry skinhead. What was that about?
That was in Cleveland. I had done some jokes about, I guess, about abortion and homosexuality and race. And they walked out.